A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the Friday night edition of the show. It's the last one for the week. Promises to be exciting, fun-filled as always. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for joining us. And we promise that for the next 50 minutes, we will do all that we can to inform you, entertain you, and update you with all that is going on in the world of sports. My name is Toyi Ibitoye. I'm not alone. I'd like to introduce to you my partners on the program this Friday night. From my immediate right, Cecilia Omorogbe joins us on Sports Tonight this Friday. Cici, good to have you. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
First time this year?
We're together on New Year Day, remember?
On New Year Day. Okay.
January 1st.
Well, welcome all the same. Happy New Year all the same.
Same to you.
Yeah. And of course, Doom Konta. I remember that Doom was on the show yesterday. So Doom, good to have you on Sports Tonight once again.
Still in the mood.
This is the first Friday of 20. Yes. Having the first weekend of 2014.
Yes.
All right. And of course, for those of you who are lovers of football, you know that the first weekend in January, I mean, the English football is so structured. You know that the first weekend of the year in England is FA Cup. It's programmed. You know they play games, Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year Day. But the first weekend, you know, is FA Cup. We will be giving you a preview of the FA Cup later on the show, because there's a big London derby. Arsenal and Tottenham will be going for it. So we will talk about it towards the end of the show. A whole lot of games in the FA Cup I will talk about on Sports Tonight. And then there's tennis. Serena Williams, the women are really busy. There's also the Open Cup. Cici will be giving us all the details later on. Serena took out Sharapova again, and she will be meeting Victoria Azarenka in the final. So we will talk about that later on the show. Open Cup, Poland and France through to the final. For those of you who are lovers of tennis, we will bring you those pictures also on the program tonight. We have an exclusive interview that we had with Super Eagles striker Emmanuel Emenike on the program tonight. We'll talk about it later on because these are real good times for Emmanuel Emenike. Just keep scoring goals and good things will come your way. We'll talk about it in the next couple of minutes. And the home base Eagles are playing Ethiopia tomorrow, and they'll be traveling on Sunday, I think, Sunday or Monday. We'll be going to South Africa for the CHAN. We want to wish them the best of luck. We'll talk about that team as well. And the story coming out from that team as it affects Warri Wolves. Warri Wolves will be in the news today because we'll also talk about Sunday Mba, who has joined second division side in France. And we talked about it extensively, Dumnodi and I, the other day. Is it a good move? Is it not a good move? Maybe by the time you see the details of the move, maybe you'll change your mind and agree that it's a good move, or maybe it will confirm to you that it was a bad move. But you will wait to see all that we have put together for you on Sports Tonight this Friday before you make up your mind and tell us exactly what you think about those moves. But let's start off by asking you that we expect you to, as always, be a part of what we're doing on the program tonight by way of feedback. Please go on and register your thoughts with us on those platforms that you are seeing on your screen. Let us know what you feel. We talked about the three-man final shortlist for the Glow Cup Awards. A lot of reactions are still trailing the fact that it is Yaya Toure, John Mikel Obi, and Didier Drogba that are in the final three. Still talk to us about it. A lot of you are asking questions, how did Drogba make that list? Maybe on personal recognition. All right, but we'll talk about it later on the show. We expect you to talk to us. Take advantage of those platforms and let us do Sports Tonight this Friday together. Cici, let's start with Commonwealth Games. We listed the top 10 sports events of 2014 on New Year Day, and the Commonwealth Games was number 2, I think, on the list. Very, very important. But there's something happening on Monday as well.
Yeah, on Monday, the Queen's Batting will be arriving in Nigeria, of course, straight to Abuja. And after that, once you get to Abuja, the DG of sports definitely hand it over to the sports minister. Then the sports minister will now hand it over to President Goodluck Jonathan. He's expected to make a speech, and after that, it will now be on the motorcade across the city of Abuja, then to depart the country on Wednesday. That's on the 8th of January with the committee that actually brought it to Nigeria. But surprisingly, I think it's only going to be in Abuja. We're expecting to actually come to Lagos.
Abuja is the seat of power, so we can't be good at Abuja.
Well,
since the minister is in Abuja and the president will also receive it. So
that's the way it's going to be. So come Monday, definitely it's going to arrive in Abuja, Nigeria, and then on the way to the sports ministry, from the sports ministry to Aso Rock, where the president will have to receive it and make a speech. And of course, the final speech on how Nigeria will definitely prepare for the Commonwealth Games. It arrives each country prior to, as part of preparations for the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, in Scotland.
I mean, that signals the fact that we now begin to take Commonwealth Games preparations very seriously. The AFN athletes are in camp, federations are preparing their athletes. Now that the touch is coming down and the relay, the Queen's Baton relay arriving in Nigeria on Monday, it means now you begin to cross the T's, dot the I's, put finishing touches to your preparation, because indeed we had a number of years to get ready for the Commonwealth Games.
Yes, the last time it was held in New Delhi in 2010. I know
his first performance ever.
I think after the World Cup, after each World Cup, so I think it's basically World Cup here.
It was every 4 years. Every 4 years.
So yes, it just signaled the beginning of the Commonwealth Game, because as you move from one Commonwealth country to the other, you know that the momentum, the awareness, we're having the fever is catching up across countries. In Ghana, I went to 2 cities. I went to Accra, I went to Kumasi. I hope it's
Nigeria is
Abuja. But so definitely for Nigeria, well, we don't know how many sports we're going to be taking part in, because there are 17 sports.
I think about 6.
Okay, I think the minister said something about it.
Shooting.
And shooting will be one of
it. So if we are going to take part in 6, then we know
that can win us medals.
We know, okay, this is where we are going to focus on our energy. But some sports,
the minister says it's not going to be a jamboree,
because shooting is such that we have not taken part. We have not taken part in shooting.
The president of the Swimming Federation, Wole Madariola, was able to convince the minister with a program that he has laid out, and it's been in shooting for a long time. He was able to convince the sports minister that look, it's new, but we will do something. And the minister said, if you are not sure that you can do anything, you are not sure that you can get a result, we are not taking you, because it's not going to be business as usual. It's not going to be a jamboree. So we keep our fingers crossed.
Like the Olympics, where you have to select the sports that will win medals. But at the end of the day, this sport did not.
Didn't deliver.
Well, I think they should have given all the sport a kind of
an opportunity,
level playing ground. Of course, then we now know the one that we can actually win a medal. Because I think in swimming we've been doing so well, but surprisingly, swimming have just been relegated to the background. To me, I think that's not really a good idea. But you can actually have all the sports together, and whichever one that can. I mean, it's out of 17 sports, about 6 or 7 will be participating. But there's actually hope in a para games. So you have the para tennis and of course the powerlifting.
We're very strong in those special sports. We're very strong.
That's what they're looking at. That we might get medals, just like at the Olympics.
The challenge, as we said on January 1, the challenge is for us to do better than we did in India, where we had 11 gold medals and we finished 9th on the table. So if we can get more than 11 gold medals, it will show that all that the National Sports Commission, I've been doing in the last couple of years, preparing early, is yielding results, and it will also show us that maybe we are also getting ready for the Olympic Games 2 years from now. All right, so that's the message, and we wish we'll talk more about it as we get more information around the Commonwealth Games. We'll go on a quick break now. When we return from the break, we'll spend time to look at what is happening tomorrow in Abuja. Super Eagles beat Ethiopia home and away. Super Eagles A beat Ethiopia. We beat them in South Africa 2013. We beat them later, late last year during the World Cup playoffs. But this time, it's the Super Eagles B against Wire Ibex B. Will the B team do what the A team did? We'll find out when we return from this break. All right, thank you for staying with us. And time for us to talk about the Super Eagles Chan team getting ready to leave on Saturday or Sunday. They'll be leaving on Sunday because they have a friendly on Saturday for South Africa to do what the A team did early last year. Let's start with the news. A confirmation of the fact that we now have the final 23-man squad. Confusion over the status of Etebo Ogenekaro. Dumnodi confirmed now is dropped.
It's dropped.
So no Ogene Etebo.
in that list, because initially we said it was
24-man list, one player was on standby. Now we know that the player that was on standby was indeed Etebo, and he has been dropped.
So because well, that's the report I got.
Some players were having some injury concerns, and they just kept him there as a standby. Should they not recover? Yeah. But I think they've recovered, and that's why Etebo is now out of the team.
Keshi is the man in the saddle. You just have to allow him to do his job, because most times people will tell you, being this one, why don't you do this one? Like I always tell people, a 30-man list, the number of players in our league is more than a 30-man list. You can always have players who are left out and those who are left out. So it just depends on whatever the coach wants. Let the coach, because the coach wants to select everybody. You can call up everybody. You have the best, but you are limited to a certain number of players. So I think that's has been laid aside. So we not know the 23 players that are going to South Africa. But tomorrow they have a game against the Wire Ibex of you call them B team. I don't know whether you can call this team B team.
The Ethiopian team.
The you can call
the Ethiopian team, their B team is almost the same as the
A team. So, but of course,
apart from maybe 2 or 3 players
who are not part of the team. So
for Ethiopia,
it's the biggest test for the Chan Eagles. You can't have any one big day. You play Kano Pillars, you played Gokana FC, you played Plateau United, you played Prisons, you played FRSC. Those are games, but this is the biggest test for the boys.
It's the national team.
It's the national team, yes. And this
Nigeria against the club side.
No, this is the national team, and this is a team that is even going to Chan. So it's pre-preparation for both teams. So I think he had from the press release I got, he had the probables. He has Chico Zagin in goal.
Let me just run through for those of you who are watching and who want to have an idea of those in the team. The probables, according to Ben Alaya, the media of the team, we have Chigozie Agbim, who is the captain of the team, Solomon Kwambe, Benjamin Francis, Azubege Igweke, Ebenezer Odunlami, Ugona Ozuchukwu, Ikechukwu Paul, who is a surprise inclusion, Rabiu Ali, Abubakar Ali is another surprise inclusion in this team. Bola Salami and Ejike Uzoyi are the list of probable players that will be playing that game against Ethiopia. Clearly, it shows that this is probably the first team that Keshi will be taking to Chan. So, for those of you who want to know what the team looks like, that is what it looks like.
Who is Ikechukwu Paul? Is it Ikechukwu Gabriel? Ikechukwu Paul?
Just
because I think it's going to give us clearly the name. Because even when they're inviting some player, there's a player they call Mohamed Ajia. It's not Mohamed Ajia, it's Mohamed Jia. So that you don't call this player. People start wondering, what are these players? Call the proper name so that we know these are the players. Because in the 21-man list, that's the challenge with this. Because people don't know Ikechukwu Gabriel. Now I'm hearing Ikechukwu Paul.
There's another Paul that is Ikena Paul is
that one. So let give them the proper name so that we don't have this mix up. Call them the proper name so that we don't have it mix up. Because when you who's Ikechukwu Paul, people start coming in and blame. So better you give them the proper name. Even if their passport, let it be the names of their passport. We can be sure. Call them the names we are used to, so that we don't have this mix up. Because when I saw Ikechukwu Paul, I think Ikechukwu Paul. At the end of the day, I discovered that in the 23-man list, I see Ikechukwu Gabriel in that list.
All right. Team Nadia said it all, and we hope that the authorities will know exactly what who is playing against who. We need to know these players, and I think the challenge is for us to really project these players and know them, so that Nigerians can also begin to follow the domestic scene very clearly. Let's step up from the Chan Eagles and talk about this man, Emmanuel Emenike. Shy, very shy guy. He's shy. I mean, I want to use his words. He says he's shy outside of the pitch, but he's not shy on the pitch. He's not goal shy. He's a beast on the pitch. And the Ivorians will tell you, the Ethiopians will tell you, this guy is not a shy guy.
The Malians will tell you.
The Malians will also tell you. Yeah. The Burkinabes will tell you that this is no shy guy. He was unveiled today as an ambassador of Telecom's giant Glo. And I caught up with him, had an exclusive interview with him, and I'm bringing you that interview now. Emmanuel Emenike on Sports Tonight. So sit back, enjoy it, and then we'll come back for more.
Didier Drogba, and he persists. Romerick.